Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the channel. Yesterday I was on Facebook and I saw a post where a guy was asking how to assemble the light switch, the dimmer switch on I believe his was a Z50, but it's the same for a CT70. I didn't realize it, but apparently you can buy a rebuild kit for these things, and I'm not exactly sure what all parts come with it, what you start with and what you buy. But he's got parts that look something like what I have laid out here, and he needs to know how to assemble them all. So I thought I'd just make a short video, kind of walk through how I do it. Not saying it's the best way to do it. Maybe you've got a better way. If you do, I'd love to hear it. Because I'm always looking for easier ways to do things. But I thought I'd just walk through and show you what I do. So I'm going to start with this little piece right here first, because it'll be important later, and I'll have my hands tied up and won't be able to show you. There's a little tab in that hole, if I get the thing, get it at the right angle, and then this piece has a little notch right there, and so they have to be clocked in the right position so that that will lay flush like that. And that is going to be important later in the video. So I just wanted to show that to you first. So we'll set that off to the side for a second. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the little plastic housing. And this housing has a little slot right there, on there and right here. And the wire, the little printed, or the board here thing for the wire, fits in that slot. Just like that, just kind of pushes down in there. You see that? And you want, obviously, you want the contacts to be facing the open slot. So we'll set that off to the side. That's all pretty easy. The hard part comes when you have to assemble the actual lever itself. You've got this little plastic piece here, and you've got a little, I don't know if it's copper, probably, little doodad there, and it fits on the side of this white piece that has the square. I don't know if you can see it or not. See how there's four little slots, and they fit the four little tabs that stick up on that. So it fits right in, fits down in flush in that. Then on the back side, I flip it over, hold my finger against it so it doesn't fall out. You put the spring in the hole. And then you've got that little bearing, and I set it on top of the spring. Now the hard part is compressing all that because of that spring, because it's got to fit between that the little circuit board thing there and the side of the plastic. And I can't get it in there with my big old fat fingers and all that. So the trick I use is a feeler's gauge. And this was my great-grandfather's feeler's gauge. And I don't know if they still make them like this or not, but to protect the thinner ones on each side of it, the one on the outside of each side are the two thickest ones. And so they're pretty sturdy. So I use it almost like a set of chopsticks. Well, gotta get that all sandwiched in there, kind of like that. Now you got to remember which side you have where. So, oh, I just turned it the wrong way. I've got to have the side with that little copper square piece needs to go against the board in here. So I'm going to turn it so I can see. So I've started. I've got the white piece started through the hole. And just kind of give it a little push. It'll find its way. And then once it's sticking through, I grab it so I can pull my feeler gauge back out without pulling it all apart. So now you've got it in there and it looks something like that. And I guess I probably should have shown you. I'll try and do it now. The ball bearing is right in here. And the black plastic piece has, it's got a spot, a divot right there for the ball bearing to go in. Then it pushes it in. There's a high spot there and then another low spot there. And that's the indents for the high and low switch. That as you move this black or this white piece, as you go from high to low, it moves forward and the ball bearing gets pushed in and then pops back out to hold it in place right here for the other one. All right, so then now we're to this piece. I should have shown you. It's got one end is going to fit in that slot right there. So you take that and put that in that slot. The other has to get the wiring harness in this notch right here. And you're trying to do all this, keeping that thing in the right spot and not letting your the switch itself and the ball bearings all push back out. So I've got it all kind of pressed in there together. Then there's a little screw. Okay. And then on this particular switch, some of them, I've not seen this before. This one's got a little brass piece that fit over the post. And then the new ones have little, on this white piece, it's not gonna focus. Yeah, there it is. You can see a couple, see how it's got a couple little raised spots? And this just snaps on there. It just pushes down. The old school ones have two little screws that screwed this black piece to that white piece. But there it is. So as you switch this from one position to the other, that little ball bearing gets pushed around and then falls back into the open spot for the next setting and kind of holds it there so it doesn't move. I hope that helps you. That's how I put it together. Like I said, if somebody's got an easier, better way, I'd love to see it because, like I said, I'm always trying to speed things up and make my life easier. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more to this video in case you don't know how it works, how this dimmer switch works. You've got 3 wires. The brown and red wire is the power wire. So power is fed up through from your wiring harness into this wire. It goes up to the switch, and then depending on if you have it in high or low, it's going to come back down either the blue or the white. In the high setting, the power will come down the blue wire, and in the low setting, it comes down the white wire. And that is, I should have probably shown you that little contact. When you move this, it just it touches the 2 different spots on that little board thing that we put in there first. So, but anyway, that's how you assemble it. I can't remember who asked the question, but I sure hope that helps you. Everybody have a great day.